Hello there everyone, Stormy Strike here, and in this video we're going to be checking out the 2019 Just About Horses magazine. If you are in the Breyer Collector Club, you get a JH magazine every year. And so in this video we're going to be browsing through the magazine. All of the new 2019 and 2020 models we've seen already in a previous video, but I will be showing those again as well that are in this magazine. So here it is, the Just About Horses magazine for 2019. It says it is 2019 Volume 6, Your Guide to Collecting Model Horses, and Breyer celebrates the decades. A look back at 70 years of Breyer history. And the image on the front here is this really cool picture of the two 2019 Collector Club stablemates tacked up in little teeny tiny miniature tack. And I apologize for the glare, I'm going to try and keep it off of it as best as possible. But there's little Grayson tacked up in that teeny tiny little miniature tack with a little rider. And same thing with this guy, Corbin I believe is his name. And he is actually tacked up as a track pony with his little western gear and little track rider. And he even has teeny tiny little boots. It also says unicorns around the world and artists' field observations in the hands of masters, one about sculpting mediums favored by the pros. And then it's really exciting because Breyer's 70th anniversary is next year, 2020. So we're going to get some information about that as well. So I'm obviously not going to go through like every single piece of information in this magazine because that would take way too long. But we are just going to kind of browse through and see all the different things that are in here. So right off the bat, we get a look at this gorgeous, I'm really sorry for the glare. My light does not work well with magazines apparently. So this is the 2020 first release in the Premier collection. Now this model is the resin prototype. The plastic one will look a little bit different. But this is the idea of what the first release in the 2020 club is going to look like, which is a super, super gorgeous Akhal-Teki. I still haven't decided yet if I'm going to join the 2020 club yet or not, but that horse is super gorgeous. There's two other awesome artists that are going to be a part of the Collector Club in 2020, who is Lynn Fraley and Kylie Parks. And you get a bonus stablemate model and a new sculpture in the Premier Club in 2020. Then here is the table of contents. We'll go through this part so you know everything that's in the magazine. Got a really cute picture. I believe this was taken by Desktop Stables of one of the Breyer models wearing some glasses, looking very cute. There is Dundee and a beautiful unicorn custom. And then there's also Breyer's 2019 releases. Table of contents, portrait models, Truly Unsurpassed. Then there's Cloud's Legend, Catch Me, Thunder, Protocol, and Danny and Ron's Rescue. So those are the portrait models that they're going to have articles about. I didn't even realize that this was in here, but you can win the test run Liver Chestnut Pinto for one of the Collector Club models this year by looking for pictures of this model in the JH magazine and entering on the website. I'm not entirely sure how that works, but I'm sure you have to be a Collector Club member already and stuff to do that. I'll have to check into that more later. Features include unicorns around the world in the hands of masters. Breyer celebrates the decades. 2019 product guide. Hobbyist hangout. Artist sketch. BF moments in miniature. Collector Q&A. Showing. Breyer photo show results. Live show benefit program. Know before you show. Customizing, sculpting, remarkable roans, collecting, from the vault, grooming kits, Vintage Point Alborozo, behind the scenes of Hamilton comes to life, Breyer Fest, Celtic Fling 2020 and 2019 photo journal, best custom contest winners, 2019 collector clubs, Premier Collection, Fairy Tale Friends Club, Stablemates Club, Vintage Club, and Collector Club. And in every issue, table of contents and editor's desk. So there's a lot going on in this magazine already, my goodness. So I'm going to start going a little quicker now. Here's the page of the editor's desk, and this is where we see the sneak peek of a new sculpture for 2020 by Mindy Berg, which appears to be a Morgan, and we're all kind of guessing it might be a classic, but we don't know for sure yet. We'll probably hear more information about this model pretty soon. On the next page is an article about Truly Unsurpassed, who Breyer did a portrait model of this year and was also at Breyer Fest. And then on the next page is Cloud's Legend. And some really cool pictures of those wild horses. Next we have Photo Show. These are photos from Breyer's Spring Mares and Foals photo contest. So here's 17 and under for first, second, and third place. And then 18 and over, first place, second place, and third place. On the next page is Artist Sketch, articles and photos by Summer Prosser. And on this page it also shows, I believe this is the resin prototype of the last release for the 2019 Premier Club, Georg, who is just, my goodness, a super gorgeous draft stallion. Then there's also pictures of some of Summer's other work. On the next page, we get behind the scenes of Hamilton coming to life. So there is the original sketch of Hamilton. And then the in-progress work of his sculpture. And then, of course, we have the beautiful finished resin prototype here, which is just absolutely gorgeous. Here is the live benefit program, and this is the benefit model for 2020. This past year's model was Weston on the Adios mold, and then this new guy is on the San Domingo mold. And below it there is a little ad for the Fairy Tale Friends Club. There is Moonbeam, who is the 4th club release. It says membership reopens soon. I wonder if they're going to have it open up the same time as the other clubs, or if they're going to do what they did before and have it open up around springtime. I'm not really sure. But there is the pretty sparkly, colorful stablemate and Mini Winnie. And then next up is some awesome pictures from the Breyer Fest 2019 Salute to Horse Heroes. There is so many horses here, my goodness, all of the guest horses that came to Breyer Fest. And just photos from the event, from opening the gate on Friday morning to the 5K race and Pal getting some hugs, to covered arena performances. And I'm really sorry the glare is not doing this justice. And then the military tribute, model horse showing at Breyer Fest, and there is Breyer Trot. Pictures of people's models at the show and the diorama contest. And then some pictures from the craft tent. More pictures from the celebration park, like the petting zoo, the pony rides, and the live auction, and there is the famous Breyer that sold for $22,000. There is the Breyer Fest raffle, there's a super dog, costume contest, and then there's even the social media meetup with Vincent, Erica, Infinity Breyers, Emma Winchester, and Crystal Moon Warrior. Then here's the best custom contest winners from Breyer Fest 2019. So they actually show some of the in-progress photos of these models, which is really awesome because we didn't really get to see those at Breyer Fest. It's really pretty Appaloosa Dundee and Mel Miller's Gray Arabian. And of course Kylie Park's really awesome circus setup. She has the full Zillas here, shows the in-progress photos of them being created into that amazing diorama. And then we have the Griffin horse, very, very cool, and Amanda Brock's Great Hair Day model. And here is Breyer Fest moments in miniature. What Breyer Fest is like, but in Breyer models. So this is super, super cute. I couldn't decide which one I liked best, so I'm buying one of everything. That's basically what Breyer Fest is. And of course, model horse showing, hanging out with the guest horses, the workshops, getting a surprise model, winning the Breyer Fest raffle, smelling the new Breyers, when Breyerfest is over and you don't know what to do with your life anymore. It's so funny. That is super cute. And over on this side, we have Celtic Fling 2020 with the celebration horse Reggie, which we already did a video on him, but there he is again. And tickets are going to go on sale on January 2nd. Then here's an article called Unicorns Around the World. And so we get some really cool information about unicorns and really awesome artwork of them as well. Unicorns from all around the world. Super awesome. I can't wait to read into these articles more in depth later on. Then here's a really cool customized Creo model into a unicorn. Here's an ad for the 2020 Stablemates Collector Club. We see that gorgeous little claws. Then over here, there's an article about Catch Me, who was made into a portrait model for this year. So we get all kinds of information about the real horse, and there's pictures of him. And then here is Remarkable Roans, an article and model horse photos by Megan Laurie. Has all kinds of information about how to paint roan model horses and gives lots of examples of real horse pictures and then model horse pictures. Here is a gorgeous artist resin painted as a roan. Gives some close-up detail of roaning. And some more really awesome models painted as roans. And then there's the last page of it. Another roan model and more tips and tricks on how to paint your own model horse roans. And here's information about the portrait model Thunder, who is another portrait model for 2019. Then another article in the Hands of Masters, which is all about sculpting techniques. And again, we get some really awesome in-progress photos and examples of how to sculpt model horses. Talking about the medium, its challenges, some really cool custom model horses. All kinds of tips and tricks. Again, I'm going to have to read these articles more in depth later because they sound really informative and awesome. So, more things about sculpting model horses. Here's actually Bristol in the progress of being sculpted. And then here is what I was actually talking about in a previous video in the Vintage Club 2020 that has the Western horse with the grooming kit. And this is what I was talking about when I was saying it was a callback to the old vintage Breyer grooming kits that they used to have. So you can actually see them there. Some Breyer models actually had little grooming kits with them, but they're like people grooming kits, not horse grooming kits. And there's an old picture of them in a catalog there. And they even had some on the Proud Arabian mare and foal molds. So that gives you some history on that. Breyer celebrates the decades by Jocelyn Coate. In 2020, Breyer will be celebrating 70 years of creating the world's finest model horses, from beloved book characters to Triple Crown winners and fantastical unicorns. Thousands of different horses have graced Breyer's stables throughout the company's history. This is super awesome, and it actually does give you some Breyer history throughout the decades from 1950s, 1960s, 70s, 80s, and so on, with some awesome little supplementary pictures. 1990s, 2000s, 2010s, and then we get the sneak peek. Fighting Stallion, again, we don't have a whole lot of information on him actually, but it says, sneak peek this Fighting Stallion model, part of the Breyer 70th anniversary collection, combines a popular vintage mold with detailed modern decoration techniques. So the Breyer 70th anniversary collection does sound like it's going to be some kind of maybe like limited edition or kind of regular run collection that's going to be released of different Breyer models. And this is one of those models in that collection. Again, not a whole lot of information on that specifically on that collection yet, but I'm sure we'll be getting more information on it soon. Here is everything about Alborozo. Alborozo is a very popular mold, and it gives you the history about this mold, pictures of the models. Then they also have pictures of the stablemate scale Alborozo, who is a flipped version of the regular Alborozo mold. So we see the unicorn versions of him and the other stablemate versions. And there's a couple more from the Fairy Tale Friends Club and the Breyer Fest 2019 live auction model. And it gives you a list of all the Alborozos that have come out. And then here's an ad for the Breyer 2020 Vintage Club. There's that Western horse I was mentioning with the throwback to vintage grooming kits. And then there's also this sneak peek, which is actually, from what I've gathered, a in-between mare, which is really surprising, but Breyer is releasing a Gambler's Choice of the in-between mare in 3 different colors. And this appears to be one of those in-between mares, and it looks like a glossy dappled gray. Here's a portrait model article about Protocol, Forever a True Pro. And this article actually spans 2 pages. Danny and Ron's rescue, with all their cute little rescue puppers. And then there is the Protocol model with the 2 doggos with it. Here is a hobbyist Q&A from an awesome model horse photographer, who is someone that I also follow, which is Breyer Realistic Pictures. And so she has some really incredible pictures and has her own article on the JH magazine here, which is really awesome. Then here are the Breyer releases. It shows you the 2018 late releases, which were all web specials from last year around Christmas time. And then here is the 2019 traditional series. All kinds of traditional models that came out this year, and I've done videos on and shown videos of at Breyer Fest and all those fun things. So many Breyers this year, my goodness. And then here are the Christmas Breyers for this year as well, and some traditional scale accessories. And then here is the Freedom series, or formerly the Classic series. Lots of new models again that came out in just 1 year. Then there's Lucky Acres models, Mini Winnies, activity sets, Collecte Breyers, and then stablemates. So many stablemates and unicorn stablemates. The Fairy Tale Friends Club. Then here's the Premier Collection for this year. There's a look at the cute little stablemate for the 2019 Premier Club members. There is the Vintage Club models for 2019. And then the Stablemate Club models for this year. And then, of course, there's the Breyer Fest models. Holy cow, there's so many models. So all of the Breyer Fest models that came out this year, including the rare, only 30 made variations of the special runs, like the Blue Bucky and the Pinto Rocket. And then, of course, the store specials. And there's all 3 variations of Quill. And then all 3 variations of Diana, and the 2 variations of Pepper, and so on. Raffle models, prize models, all of those Breyer Fest models. Even the volunteer model is in here, and the surprise model. And then there's even more models, holy cow. Breyer, how do you come out with so many models each year? Here is the web special models for this year for Collector Club members. So there was Brownie and Boo and Out of the Blue and Merwoods and Lucian and Bo and Waban and Adiffa, who I just did a video on recently. All these models, the Spooky Surprise, you get the point. There's so many Breyer models. And then here's also the Scottsdale Stampede Collector Club event models. All very expensive and rare models, but really gorgeous. And then there's the 2 live show benefit models for this year, Weston and the Kids Live Benefit Show model. Then there is Tractor Supply and Walmart exclusives. So here are 2 of the Tractor Supply exclusives that I still need to get, actually. I've been trying to get them, but just have not quite gotten them yet. But those 3, and then there's Walmart Unicorns and Classic exclusives and Stablemates and Mini Winnies. And then finally, that is all the models. And we're ending off with two more little ads here. For the 2020 Collector Club which has this beautiful Dundee who will be available for purchase in the 2020 Collector Club. And then there is the 2019 Christmas horse and all her pretty Christmas tack and the ornaments for this year as well. So that was a lot. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm sorry it's long, even just going through the magazine quickly takes a long time. There is just so much to go through in this. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you have an awesome day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye everyone!